All right, welcome into another episode of the News4JAGs podcast. Jamal St here alongside Justin Barney. Justin, day 2, minicamp in the books. A little bit hotter, but fans in the stands, so it was a little bit of a different day. Defense won the day, though.
Defense looked really good today. I thought the offense was ragged, but I think the defense was phenomenal. Jordan Lewis had a big-time pass breakup of Travis towards the end of camp, really one-on-one situation near the goal line, and went up high and knocked it away from Travis. I thought that was a great play, kind of capped the defense's performance today. Really good.
Yeah, look, I think the defense had a pretty solid day all the way around. There were a handful of really good plays. Yep. I think what Antonio Johnson had a pick six. Kevy Rose, the defensive lineman, he had an interception. Mason Smith had an interception. I was scratching my head earlier. I somehow missed that Rayon Lane had an interception. Apparently right in front of me. I don't know. Okay. So
he does strange things.
Yeah.
He does strange things.
He does strange things. But I mean, a good day for the defense all around. Not great for the quarterback.
Not good day for the quarterbacks at large. And also Brian Thomas Jr. went down hard with an injury.
Yep. Liam Tyson said shoulder injury. Said it was just bruised. Said he's fine.
Thankfully, because that crowd groaned. There was quiet. He stayed down for probably a minute before walking over off with the trainers and stuff. But thankfully, BTJ, to the collective excitement of Jacksonville fans, came back into practice, and you mentioned just a shoulder bruise. So that is good news. You don't want to see that in front of fans as you get one day closer to the end of your offseason program.
All right, let's go through a couple of guys that maybe stood out today. How about Chandler Brayboy?
Yes,
I mean, I think this was the first time that he's really popped like this.
Yep.
But a lot of passes for Chandler Brayboy. I mean, out of Elon, undrafted free agent. I don't know if he could have asked for a better day.
He had an unbelievable day, and Eli Pinkel's kind of been the UDFA receiver for me, but man, Chandler was phenomenal today. Impossible not to look at him and what he did and say, man, maybe I'm muscling in the conversation too, because he had a phenomenal day.
Yeah, good day for him. A little bit of a rough day for his teammate Darius Lassiter. A couple of drops for him. Who else stood out for us? You mentioned Jordan Lewis's pass breakup, which was a good play. Caleb Bransall had a near interception, which was pretty good, I'd say. Mason Smith had a huge day.
Mason Smith had a good day. Eli Pinkel had a nice catch down on the other side of the field. I think it's 7-on-7s or 11-on-11s. Just a really good day. We're talking about the offense, but the defense really, to me,
it's
stole the show
guy after
today.
Defensive guy that I feel like we're kind of would have to go through. That I mean, a lot of these guys had solid days of work out there. So I think it's even tough to kind of single out just any one guy who maybe had the best day of the group, because there was just so many guys that had, just really good days of work.
I like Jordan Lewis today, and to me, the offensive guy was Chandler Brayboy. I thought he had a phenomenal day today. Again, undrafted guys. We talked to the guys during OTAs and now minicamp, whether they're drafted or undrafted, especially the 22 undrafted. These guys have a legit shot to make the 53, more than we've seen in quite some time in terms of the UDFA guys actually making this 53. I mean, may have been one or two in the past, but I think we're going to see a sizable amount this year.
And it's worth keeping an eye on one other thing, and back to the offense, I guess, but Chuma Edoga and Anton Harrison kind of been rotating at that right tackle spot. So just something that's worth watching. We're going to talk to Chuma tomorrow, but Anton's kind of been that penciled in guy at the right tackle, and spots are opening up for grabs. Chuna's been rotating in. Yeah,
so they brought him in, and Anton has kind of been a guy, I'd say the weak link, but really a guy who needs to take a step forward for a round pick. He's 1 year away from potentially having that option picked up. So you really, if you're Anton Harrison, it's a make or break situation, because you signed so many guys in free agency who could come in and compete. I mean, Macari is in there. He's going to be penciled into a spot, but Chuma is in there, and he could be the guy to kind of muscle Anton out of a spot.
He could be. It's definitely something that we're going to have to watch. I mean, there's a couple of position battles that are going to be fierce. That linebacker spot, I mean, I think Devin Lloyd's kind of penciled in, but that third backer in base, that one's definitely up for grabs. Even back there at safety right now, Dewey's kind of running with the ones, but I mean, there's going to be some heavy pressure. I mentioned Caleb Bransall almost had an interception. Rayon Lane did have an interception. Antonio Johnson also had an interception. And Darnell Savage, I think he had a pick too.
He did. He had a pick. Antonio Johnson is a guy that could have been squeezed off the roster, may have been even squeezed off mine in my initial 53, but he had a good camp last year, got banged up, and then he's played well. He's kind of muscling his way in terms of a guy that, hey, don't forget about me.
Yeah, look, a lot left to do with this. We got one more day of minicamp out here before they wrap up the offseason.
Thankfully.
One more day.
Thankfully.
Travis Hunter was on offense. I guess I don't know if we really touched on that much today.
Yeah,
but he kind of just had a...
Yeah, it's kind of a day.
Yeah.
Kind of a day. Nothing too crazy, nothing that stood out. No one-handed catches, anything that, but anytime he did wave to the crowd a few times and people chanting his name, signed autographs a little bit after practice with the rest of the rookies. But yeah, kind of just a day for Travis.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on it. One more day of minicamp. We'll see what they have, and then we'll wrap this thing up for a little bit for the offseason, right?
Yep. Oh, man, it's coming soon, and training camp right around the corner.
Training camp is right around the corner. We appreciate you hanging out with us here for the News4JAGs podcast. We'll have new episodes coming your way soon, probably tomorrow after practice. One more, but we'll see you guys next time.